G'day guys, today's video we're going to start cutting out some of the rust in the rusty sill on the passenger side of the VK. Let's go. Okay, so this is what we're working with down here, and we're going to start with this small patch here. We're going to cut that out, see how bad it is underneath, whether we have to cut that whole section over to there or we can cut it 2 little sections and then do that. And this one here, I've had a quick look. There's a little bit going underneath, so we're going to have to do a bit with a bend in it as well. So we'll see how we go with that. I'm hoping that we can just do 2 little sections because I don't want to have to make a big piece like that. That's probably beyond my skill level. Let's get cutting. Well, before the cutting, I'm going to grind the rest of the underneath where there's a few rust bubbles, see how bad it is, and then we'll cut the shape out. So that piece is out and it's pretty rusty on the back, and there's a heck of a lot of dirt in there. It looks like mainly dirt. That's good. It feels pretty thick and pretty good on the insides of there, so I reckon that just a bit of rust treatment on the back of that, and the inner looks like it's just a bit of surface rust on there. Doesn't look too bad, so I reckon we just get some rust treatment in there. I think we'll be laughing, and we'll just cut out and make another piece like that and pop it back in. Alrighty guys, so there's the patch panel made. Now this is the first panel that I've ever made, so go easy on me. It doesn't fit too bad. I've had to put that little bend in there. The lines match up both sides pretty good. It's not perfect, but we'll get a bit of weld on that and we'll be able to shape that in a bit once we've got it tacked in a bit and we can get the shape a bit better. So if you just get that out, so if we compare it to the piece that we cut out, it matches up pretty well. It's a little bit bigger than the other one, but we need to fill in the gaps of the grinder. See, the bend is almost the same. That one is pretty good, eh? Not bad for a first try. Alright, so the next step is to get all of the sill cleaned out properly and hit it with some kill rust, and then we'll start to tack that in. Hey, welcome back. I've been doing some cleaning on the rust hole that I've cut out, and I've got with a brush and painted all the set the rust converter in there, so whatever rust I can't get out with the wire brushes and stuff should not rust anymore. And then I've hit it with a zinc primer. This stuff, so hopefully that prevents it from rusting anymore, and it's supposedly weld through as well, so that makes things even better. I'll give you a look at how we're traveling. The patch panel is primed on the back, almost dry. That's what the dark section there is. It will all go to that lightish colour. And if we look in the hole here, if I get some light in there, you will be able to see that that's all nice and primed, cleaned all the dirt out. It wasn't that bad in there. It wasn't as, as bad as I was expecting, so it's okay. Now we'll wait for that to dry, and next step will be tacking that panel in, and then we'll get onto that section. Hey, it's been a while. I have done some welding. Now, it's not the best, but I've grinded back a little bit of it, and it's holding in there. I still need to fill in the gaps, but we're getting there, and it's not perfect. I didn't get the bottom there and a little bit there. It's not level, but we'll fix that up when it comes to a little bit of filler. But I'm going to start welding in some of those gaps, and we'll come back once I've done that. Alright guys, so it's not the prettiest, but it's tacked in again, and we'll grind it back and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I've ground back the welds, and we're getting better, There's still got a gap here and a little bit up the top to fill with weld, but we're getting it in there. Slowly but slowly, we are learning how to do this welding thing. Now, I kind of know now when I'm welding whether the weld's going to take or not, so that's a good thing. Slowly, we're getting there. We'll get there one day. Might take who knows how long, but we are getting there. So, next step is to fill back up the little holes and grind again, and I reckon that piece will almost be done. Alright, we're back again guys. I've jumped ahead a little here. I cut out the other bit of rust and I've welded that in, so clean up the welds and hopefully just a little thin piece of filler, and we're good to go on that. We're getting there. Now, this stupid piece of junk MIG welder here is the biggest piece of junk ever invented. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. It's so bad that I had to stop using that and start using the old arc welder. It's so much easier to use that than that MIG welder. That is the biggest piece of junk. The wire feed is terrible. It won't come out. You can't get heat. You can't get a good weld. It just leaves bloody splatter everywhere. So I think that can go in the bin, and that's doing the job we need. So turn the power right down and don't get it too hot and you don't blow holes. Let's grind. Alrighty, back again. So I have ground back the welds on there, as you can see, there's a few little holes in there, but that doesn't faze me. I'm going to put some filler over that. That'll fill those holes up. I can't. It's just a lot to weld up those holes and then grind them. So I'm not going to worry about them. It's not perfect, but we'll get the filler in there. And the dog's jumping all over me, so sorry about the unsteady camera hand, but we'll get some filler on there, we'll shape it up, get it nice and smooth, and Bob will be our uncle. So I'll mix that up and we'll lather it on. Alrighty, so that is the first layer of bog on there, and we'll wait for that to dry. And while that's drying, I will clean up some of the mess in here because it's disgustingly rubbishy. There is, well, the Valiant has become a workbench, so I need to clean that up. Got tools everywhere. It's just messy. I want to clean it up while that dries, and then once that hardens, we'll give it a sand and see whether we need to put any more coats of filler on top just to smooth out any holes and get it flat. We'll come back when it's hardened up and ready to sand. Alrighty guys, so that's the first sand done. There's a few little low spots there, and there's a pretty big low spot here that we need to just fill in with the next round of filler. Now, to show you how thin the filler is, we still get magnet through the metal to the metal, so we can stick magnet on there, so it's not too thick. This one we need to build up just a little bit there, but looking good. It's pretty flat all the way along here, except for those little low spots in there. Like there's really good there. Top of this is good. It's just that section there that we need to get a bit more filler on. So I'll fill that, sand that back, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, that is a wrap on the rusty sill panel. That's come up better than I could have expected. Very happy with myself. For my level of ability, that's a good job. Now, we're going to leave that in primer because when we come back to this side, we're going to have to resand that anyway, so we'll leave him like that. It's got a few pinholes in the filler, but as I said, we'll touch them up when we get to that section when time comes. All right, we're going to wrap this video up here, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.